Monster Jam fans, welcome out to Lucas Oil Stadium for Week 14 of the 2022 Monster Jam season as Stadium Championship Series Red is ready to rumble here into Indianapolis. We have a great two shows here today in this commentary. Our first two-show weekend we've had in a very long time, so I'm looking forward to it. Plenty of action, back-to-back Stadium Championship Series Red shows on the channel too after a long time without them, so very happy to have them back yet again. Oh boy, Jamie Garner just exploded in intros. That's a problem. Now the lineup for this event is the same as every show we have had so far, not a single difference. However, it does look like Jamie Garner's not going to be with us. Actually, no, he is with us. I'm not sure. We're going to have to hopefully they'll get that truck fixed in time. But either way, we are going to get right into Monster Jam racing here in Indianapolis. Round one racing action ready to go here in Indianapolis. We've got Mark List and El Toro Loco taking on Matt Pagliarulo and Jester. Mark List 1-0 in his stadium career against Matt Pagliarulo. See how this track plays out, obviously. Something to keep your eye on every time you go to a new venue, making sure that the track runs well. But Mark List takes control of the track here in this first matchup, and he is off to round number 2, taking down the Jestalade. Now the next matchup here in round number 1, we've got Colvin Art and the Black Pearl taking on John Gordon in Bad Company. We also found out later, spoiler alert, for the World Finals, that both of these drivers will be competing in the World Finals, which is pretty awesome. We've also now, at the point of this commentary being released, we have a full lineup for the World Finals, which is really great. I'm so excited about it. We've got quite a few competitors from this tour. It's going to be a really fun World Finals. We're off and running. These two independents ready to go here in Indianapolis. Now, these two independents have faced off many times in their careers in independent matchups. Obviously, they have ran numerous shows together in the past. Oh boy, John Gordon getting up on the right side of the truck. He is done, and his night in racing will come to an end. But Colvin Ard walks out of there with a victory. That brings up Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Now, he will unfortunately have a bye run, as Jamie Garner did in fact have some damage to the truck in intros, as you can tell with the smoke flying out of the motor. Hopefully he can get himself back at some point in the competition. But for now, Bryce Kenny will get a free lap on the track just to feel it out before round 2. So 4 drivers get automatic passes into the second round. Well, now we have 5 as Bryce Kenny gets one. So an easy victory for Bryce there here in round number 1, which is the third race of the round. You see there the 19.083, pretty good time. So now we have 1 race left here in round number 1, and in that far lane it's Cynthia Gauthier and the Lucas Stabilizer. Gave the fans a nice honk, the Honky Tonka. I'm always a fan of that name, and she's got a tall task here taking on Todd the Duke. The Duke, a 2-time World Finals champion, 1-time World Finals racing champion. So Cynthia Gauthier is in for a rough one here. If she can pull this one out, it would be a very impressive win for her. Now, she is also a World Finals champion in of herself. The 2019 World Finals high jump champion, which was, I didn't even really remember that until just now. But she will not take down Todd the Duke, as he is off to the second round here in the Blue Thunder machine. He has been such a good racer throughout the course of this season. Now the next matchup here comes in round number 2. We've got Adam Anderson and Gravedigger taking on Mark List and El Toro Loco. Our first time seeing Adam Anderson tonight. Adam Anderson has 5 racing wins on the year. Compare that to Mark List's 1. We've got 6 racing wins between these two drivers. Adam Anderson with a lead going to the final jump. And over the jump, it's close, but Adam Anderson takes it home, and he's off to the semifinals here in Indianapolis. Adam Anderson has just been so good in this competition all year long.
Advances on into round 2 to take on
Next pairing here, we have Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken taking on Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Now, we found out this morning of the recording of this commentary that Nick Pagliarulo is going to the World Finals. Got the invitation, which is such incredible news. He is a young star, and he has had a very good season. It started off better than it has gone so far. He has certainly had a better first half than second half. Spins out real wide here. Colvinard making up ground. It's a photo finish, but over the line, Nick Pagliarulo takes it home and is off to the next round. How about that? Very close race, but Nick Pagliarulo pulled it out. Now the next pairing here, we have Tom Meents and Max D taking on Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce Kenny's first time facing another driver tonight, so we'll see how he fares. Both of these drivers' first time. Let's see if these two guys can put down an incredible race. Now, ironically, there is one racing competition win this year between these two drivers, and it's not Tom Meents. Bryce Kenny has the one racing competition win. Tom Meents doesn't have one yet this year, which is quite the surprise. A man who has always been great at racing. But he is, a photo finish there, and it actually goes to Mohawk Warrior. Looked like Meents had that one over the jump, but Bryce Kenny with a faster jump puts him in the semifinals, so Tom Meents won't get it tonight. Now we've got Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker taking on Todd the Duke in Blue Thunder. Another pairing of two really great racers. Todd the Duke, 3 racing competition wins this year. Ryan Disharoon doesn't have one yet, but does not mean that he is not a good racer. Ryan Disharoon has been historically one of the best racers in Monster Jam over the course of his career. Very close. Looks like Ryan Disharoon's got a lead going to the final turn. Disharoon with a beautiful turn, and Ryan Disharoon pulling away. Wow! Ryan Disharoon dominating Todd the Duke there, and he is off to the semifinals. That was impressive. Talk about a surprise. Now the semifinals. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger taking on Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. This is a very fierce battle here. Nick Pagliarulo has had some success on this track so far this year, but Adam Anderson has also had success, and his success will lead him to the final round tonight here in Indianapolis. Adam Anderson has just been so good on this track throughout the course of this season. Beautiful 40th anniversary Gravedigger truck will head to the final round once again. Now, the question is who will take him on. In the near lane, we've got Bryce Kenny in the Mohawk Warrior. And in the far lane, it's Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker. Ryan Disharoon hunting his first racing win of the year. Bryce Kenny in hunt of number 2. Very close. Looks like Bryce Kenny's got a lead. It's time for the final turn, and Bryce Kenny loses it in the turn and flips over. Saigon Shaker handed an easy victory here in the semifinals. Not the way you want to win, but Ryan Disharoon will take it as he will go to the final round of racing tonight. And that is where we are now. Lucas Oil Stadium. 12 trucks have led to this final race. This has been a very, very good night of racing for these two drivers. Adam Anderson in the far lane is a bad fast. He's won 5 racing competitions this year, most recently last week in Seattle. And Ryan Disharoon in the near lane, still hunting that number 1, but one who has won a lot of racing competitions throughout the course of his career. This is going to be a great final round. They've got the green. Let's crown a winner here in Indianapolis. Show 1 of 2. They both have 2 very different ways of approaching this track, but Adam Anderson so far is in the lead going to the final turn. A close race, but not very much so at the end, as Adam Anderson just on a roll when it comes to this Stadium Tour Red racing track this year. He is in the winner's circle with win number 6 of the year in the racing competition. It is now time for the skills competition. Matt Pagliarulo in Jester is ready to rumble as he was the first man to be eliminated. Now, Jamie Garner, unfortunately, could not make it back out for the skills competition. Let's hope he can get out here for freestyle. The skills competition, you can do either 2 moves on 2 wheels or 1 donut. So we'll see what Matt Pagliarulo opts to do. Lining up for hit number 1. So unfortunately couldn't quite get much off of that reverse popper, but still made an interesting move out of it. He's got 1 hit to go. That blue body, you can see from this angle, is taking a lot of damage this year, but it still somehow rides every weekend and looks good as new. Lining up for his second hit, going for the jammer. Walking a wheelie up the ramp. Not much of a wheelie out of it, but still, we'll get him a score of a 3.117. So Matt Pagliarulo, unfortunately, not the score he would have liked to have there. As you see there on the screen, that is his score. That brings up John Gordon in bad company. Coming out second a little bit early. He's always been a pretty good driver when it comes to this skills competition. Lining up for hit number 1. Going for a bicycle. There he is on the right side of the truck. Scraping those sidewalls, and that's 1 hit here in this competition. He's always been one of those drivers that tends to stick to the bicycles and the stoppies. He's gotten a lot of really good moves, but he's never been one to light up the leaderboards in this event. Going for the stoppie there, can't quite get it. And that is hit number 2. So John Gordon, unfortunately, not a great run there, and we'll see the score now. 5.396. And that will be the end of his run, but he does take the lead. And now we've got Cynthia Gauthier, the Lucas stabilizer. Cynthia Gauthier, another one of those drivers that doesn't really light up the scoreboard when it comes to this competition, but she always puts down a pretty good run. Doing a nice little horn-honking lap around the stadium. Just love that they did that for this truck. I say it literally every week. Nice sky wheelie. That's not going to help her when it comes to going for a slap wheelie, but still an interesting first move. You don't see many people get sky wheelies anymore, especially off of a ramp like that. She is really honking that horn a lot today. All power to her. I love it. Going for hit number 2, a huge sky wheelie. Wow! She ends up on her lid, but that was a crazy second hit, and she will take the lead with it at a 7.072. So Cynthia Gauthier looking pretty good here in this event. That will lead us into a man who has done very well in this competition this season, Mark List. He only has 1 skills win. It came in the very first weekend of the season. That doesn't mean he isn't a threat. He's a guy who will likely be in the skills competition in the World Finals. He is certainly going to be a threat in that competition as well. He's always a guy who seems to find himself in the top of every skills competition, whether he's winning it or not. up the ramp, kicking up some dirt and still walking it. Can he combo it? No, he does not combo it. Opts to just kind of roll it back down. He had a lot of momentum after that ramp. He probably would have rolled over if he hit the brakes. So that'll allow him one more hit. Hit number 2, doing the same thing on the other side of the ramp. Moonwalking it back up, now down, and going back up again, and he gets it up the ramp both times, so 2 good hits for El Toro Loco. He will take the lead. It's an 8.825. I can't complain much about that score. Maybe it could be a little bit higher. You see it right there on the video board too, so we'll get to hear the reaction of the fans every time we get to see scores as well. Now it's Covenard and the Black Pearl. One of the most beautiful trucks in Monster Jam, ready to roll. Covenard does not have a skills win yet this year. That is hit number 1, went for reverse popper, couldn't quite get much from it. Lining up for hit number 2. Is he going for a bicycle? Yeah, he is. Covenard just went for a bicycle. That's interesting. He hasn't done that very much this year. Might as well just keep it here and wait for the score because it's going to be here anyway. No need to look at the thing and then oh, okay, well, we didn't get a score for that one. Score for Black Pearl is a 3.523. So now we have Tom Mentz and Max D. Now Tom Mentz has won plenty of skills competitions. He has actually won 6 out of the 12 skills competitions. So he is 50% of the skills competition wins so far this year, which is just mind-boggling. This man seriously loves to do these skills moves, and he's going for his first hit, the patented maximum moonwalk that he goes off of the backflip ramp. Hit number 1, here we go. The maximum moonwalk in progress. Walking that puppy forward. Giving it a nice, giving the fans a nice look of the roof of this truck. And he moonwalks it backwards. Nice. Most of the time he'll just set it down at the end of that first little stoppie. But you gotta love when he throws it into a moonwalk and just goes back with it. That is always a really good time. And now he is only up for hit number 2. I still don't remember what I was calling this hit where he goes to the backside of the racing lane and jumps it. I think I was calling it the hoppy stoppy, but I could be completely wrong. Either way, here it goes. Jumping on the back side of the racing lane, putting it up on the front 2 wheels and dancing that truck. Gets it in a beautiful position. My, oh my, this is incredible. He has just been really, this is by far one of the most exciting moves you'll see. Because he can do really anything with it. It's not an easy move to do, and it's only something that he can do in that front engine truck. Let's see the score. Okay, I finally decide to not read the scores off, and he doesn't show them anymore. It's a 9.255 for Tom Mentz. He takes the lead, well deserving. That brings up Todd the Duke now in Blue Thunder. The Duke, the only man on this tour not named Tom Mentz to win more than 1 skills competition, so he has had more luck than 10 other drivers on this tour winning this competition. It has not been an easy competition to win with Tom Mentz here. And Todd the Duke, with a move like that, puts himself in a good spot. A fantastic stop. He walked it all the way across the track. I mean, that was picture perfect. He does have 1 move to go. This is also a dome, which is why the trucks may sound a little different to you. You were not aware of that. Going for a bicycle, and he just sets it down. He couldn't quite get much from it, so that's going to hurt his scores. It's an 8.403. I must say the scores have been very fair so far tonight. I love when the scores actually turn out to be really fair. Oh, and of course now we see the score. I don't know, I'm just very unlucky when it comes to this. I have literally not once predicted it correctly. So that brings in Nick Pagliarulo in the Kraken. Pagliarulo has not won one of these competitions this year, but he has always proven that he can be a really good driver in this event. Seems to always throw down a really unique run. He's really also hit or miss. He's either going to get a really good score or he's going to get like a 5. Going for the jammer, trying to walk that wheelie up the ramp. It doesn't quite cooperate, but the truck is flipping all over. Can he save it? No. Not quite. That truck just spun into the ground. A wild ride for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken. And his score will be boosted heavily by that. It's a 7.724. Which will send up Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. That's pretty funny. We almost got to see Nick Pagliarulo pull off an insane, one of the saves of the year right there. Now, Bryce Kenny does have a skills win this year. Putting it on the front 2 wheels, moonwalking it up the ramp, and good first hit there for Bryce Kenny. Now, Bryce Kenny has had some luck in this venue. In last year's 3rd Indianapolis event, he won the racing competition. That's really been it, though. No skills wins in this venue for him so far this year. Back on the front 2 wheels again. Stopping it. Moonwalking it now. Getting it towards the ramp. And sets it back down. A pretty good... Oh, he's going to combo it. There you go. Getting the wheelie up the ramp. And that is hit number 2. A pretty good run from the Mohawk Warrior. The score's a 6.901, and I've got to say that's probably the first inaccurate score we have had tonight. That was a really good run from Bryce Kenny there. Now we've got Ryan Disharoon coming out second to last here in this event. Walking a little wheelie up the ramp, trying to get a slap wheelie out of it, didn't get it. Now he also has a skills win this year. One of the, probably the most surprising competition winner we've had of the season. Because he is not known for his skills runs, but I believe it was back in... It was one of the Florida shows, if I'm correct, and he just had a fantastic run. Moonwalking this one up the ramp. A little smoke coming out of the collectors, it looked like, but not much of a problem after that. That'll be the end of the run. Saigon Shaker will settle with a 5.852, which leaves us with just one driver left. That's Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, trying to take down Tom Meents. We have been saying it every week that Adam Anderson chasing Tom Meents at the top of the tour. Tom Meents lost ground in racing, but he has set the bar very high for Adam Anderson. Adam Anderson has to win skills if he wants to continue gaining ground on him, or else he would lose a little bit. Let's see what he does. No one went for a donut today either, which is very interesting. While this tour is typically not known for doing the donuts, you tend to see maybe 1 or 2 over the course of a weekend. Stadium Tour Yellow has had many more. What's Adam doing? Just hit the ramps. You gonna go for a slap wheelie? Wow, he just did a slap wheelie off the front end of the step-up. That was really cool. Gotta love that, getting the air and a slap wheelie out of it. It's one thing to just do a slap wheelie, and it's another thing to do a slap wheelie off of a normal ramp not made for slap wheelies. And then it's another to get big air like that and pop it into a really good slap wheelie. So Adam Anderson changing the game up here. I really like that. Let's go for a bicycle off of the jammer, walking it all the way up the center pod and sets it down. And what a great 2 hits here. He isn't going to take the lead, but he does get second place. It's an 8.857. So Adam Anderson, with a fantastic run, isn't able to win it. But I must say that's pretty fair. Tom Meents did have the better run of the 2. Adam Anderson's was just so unique. So now it's time for freestyle. Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken is the man starting us off tonight. In this first of two shows here at Lucas Oil Stadium. He does have a freestyle win this year. He also doesn't have a body anymore after that wild ride in skills. He won that freestyle back in, I don't remember. I shouldn't have said that I knew because I didn't. But either way, it was a really impressive freestyle. I remember moments of that run. It was a lot of fun. He just had a really great run. Went all out. Starts it off here with some nice air on the step up. Oh, and he's shut down. Hopefully that does not stop him. Now for the Pagliarulos, this is their first time competing here in Indianapolis. Drivers that have been around for a little while. So it's nice to see them making their first appearance in a venue that has had a lot of drivers drive in it. Nice air again. It's also really cool when you get to see these trucks without the bodies on them. Oh boy, getting on the right side. That truck is clearly not wanting to stay on all fours tonight. Nick Pagliarulo, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, is qualified for the World Finals, and boy, oh boy, moves like that will certainly be fun to see in Orlando, Florida, just a little under 2 weeks from now. I cannot wait for the World Finals. I'm really hoping I can get all these shows in time before then. I'm going to try cranking them all out. It's definitely not easy, though. This has been a very, like I said, hectic last 2 months, which is why I had such a brief break. But Nick Pagliarulo is just really throwing down here in this run. Oh my! Prevented that truck from rolling over there. I call that a save, honestly. Wasn't the flashiest of saves, but it was a save nonetheless. It's really been great to see Nick Pagliarulo grow over the years. I mean, he was a once rising star, and I'd say, while he hasn't reached the point of stardom yet, he is certainly going to get there someday. Truck shuts down again. That could be the end of the run this time. Yeah, that is. He is done. He's out of the truck, fired up, as he should be. That was a great run. It's a 7.295, so Nick Pagliarulo sets us off for sale with a pretty good score. Now it's Bryce Kenny, the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Bryce Kenny doesn't have a freestyle win so far in 2022, so you know you would love to grab one here. Coming out second, never easy. We have seen one guy do that this year, winning a competition coming out second. That's Todd LeDuc. Big air from the Mohawk Warrior. Wow. He has looked so good so far in this run. Bryce Kenny, typically a guy that likes to go out there, throw down 2 solid minutes, get a backflip every once in a while. Nice air again. Nice combo 2 into a wheelie. Wow. But every once in a while, like I mentioned, he will get a nice wow moment in there. Bryce Kenny has been here before, 2020 and 2021, so he has gotten the chance to drive in this building. Oh boy, he's backing up. Is he going for some big air? Yes, he is, lining up to air that truck out. Unfortunately, that ramp is just angled so low, it doesn't get you much hang time, but still. Now going for the backflip ramp. Here we have it. Oh boy, weird angle, and he lands it. Hit it hard on the right side of the truck, but the truck is no worse for the wear, and that is proven right there as he flies off of the jammer. A monstrous hit. And a massive sky wheelie. That jammer was built very interestingly for this show. It has a lot of vertical lift to it. Bryce Kenny again flying this truck. He is having a fantastic run, making a bid for that first freestyle win of the year. Boy, oh boy, what a fantastic run from Bryce Kenny. It's an 8.948. I'd say it could be a little bit higher than that, but he will settle for it. Now it's Matt Pagliarulo and Jester. Matt Pagliarulo came out first in skills. Did not have the best of runs. But he is now underway in freestyle, trying to set himself up for a potential win. Matt Pagliarulo has always been a guy that throws down some really good freestyles. You can count on him to get big air. He loves to air that Jester truck out. He is a big proponent of sending it. And he's another guy, just like his son. It's been really cool seeing both he and Nick grow a lot over these last couple of years in the freestyle competition. Because these are also two drivers that are not known for their racing or skills, and they haven't worked tons on, well, yes, they have improved in those competitions. You can see more leaps in success in the freestyle competition, and Matt Pagliarulo really airing it out there. That was arguably the highest leap of the night. But the weirder part of it is that Matt Pagliarulo, who has been in the sport since 2016, will not be in the World Finals before his son Nick, who has been in the sport a little less of time. So good for Nick, representing the family in the World Finals this year. It's going to be great, like I said, to see him there. Definitely a very nice addition to the field. And I'm sure Matt will be there cheering him on. Well, Matt will definitely be there cheering him on. Hopping over the racing lane, the nose starting to flap off a little bit. And that will do it. Matt Pagliarulo, a pretty good run. It's a 5.475, so the scores have been a little all over the place recently, but it's all right. Now it's Cynthia Gauthier, the Lucas stabilizer. She's lost some of her exhaust pipes. Looks like both exhaust pipes have fallen off. Indeed they have. Well, actually, the left exhaust pipe is there. It's just been cut off. I'm talking about on the truck itself, not on the actual, on the body, not the actual exhaust collectors. Nice hit to start it off. This truck has really grown on me. At the beginning of the year, I mean, I like the unique design, but at the beginning of the year, I wasn't quite the biggest fan of it. But it has really certainly grown on me since. I'm really enjoying the look of this truck. Oh my, that jammer again, sending someone in a weird direction, and that completely destroys the back end of her truck, and that will be the end of her run. She doesn't complete the minimum time either. So unfortunately, it will be a 0. Actually, it's not even a 0. It's just a didn't finish for Cynthia Gauthier here at Lucas Oil Stadium. That leads us into John Gordon in bad company. John Gordon, always representing that in memory of Scott Hartsock on the back side of the truck. Always a great tribute. Boy, he is backing up far for this first hit. And he is not holding back. Big air at the start of the run. John Gordon looking great. Now, he has been here before. 2019, his second season in Monster Jam. He was here in the Bad Company truck. those of you may remember, 2019 was John Gordon's first year in Monster Jam in the Bad Company truck, but he did drive in 2018. He was a member of Team Scream. He was that 4th driver that year. Whoa! Nice air. Using that step up to his advantage. And that year he drove Scooby-Doo in the first quarter. It was actually really a very eventful first quarter for him. He had a lot more wow moments than you would have thought. That Scooby-Doo, the 4th Team Scream driver tends to always provide like 1 or 2 really strange wow moments in the course of a year. But, I mean, you think about it, since 2018, you've got John Gordon, who had a couple really great moves. You have Kevin King, who had a spectacular save in 2019. 2020 doesn't count, neither does 2021. But this year, you've got Craig Champion, who has done incredible things. I mean, he's had some really great moments. He had arguably the move of the year back in San Diego. So something about being the 4th driver of Team Scream just turns you up a little bit. Nice air over the center of the track. John Gordon still looking very good. And he's going for the backflip now. Oh boy, that is not good. I think his rear steer might be broken. Yep, he's got to abort the mission. He went right for that, and someone went into his ear and said, "Hey, your rear steer's broken. We're not hitting that backflip ramp." So now he's got to just finish it off with a move. That isn't what he wanted to do, but nonetheless, still a pretty good run for John Gordon. The score is a 5.921. I gotta say, that's a little underscored. But it's alright, as long as it's not the difference between life and death. Didn't prevent him from getting into the World Finals, so that's all I care about. Now it's Ryan Disharoon in the Saigon Shaker. Smartly attacks that jammer differently than everyone else has tonight. It is just pitched way too high up that it's sending you a little bit past vertical, so he decides to just kind of roll over it. Now Ryan Disharoon has been here before. He's been here actually further in the past than most of the drivers. He got to be here for the first time in 2017. He was also here in 2018 as well. Pretty good run so far. His momentum is really good. He's really off to a good start. Current leader is still Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He's got an 8.948, so you crack a 9, you've got the lead. And again, as I mentioned in last week's commentary, or not last week, in last week's show, he had, I believe this is a brand new chassis, and it seems to not be slowing him down at all. Most of the time when drivers get new chassis, their truck is all over the place. Well, his truck was all over the place before he got the new chassis, and now it seems like he's fixed. Which is obviously the point of building a new chassis, so you don't have any problems, but this thing has had, it's been running like a knife through butter, almost. He's going for the backflip. Little under-rotated, bounces on the front 2 wheels, rolling over, hitting the gas, can't get it. Couldn't quite get enough grip. Unfortunately, Saigon Shaker ends on its roof, and that'll be it. But a really good run and a good score puts him in second. It's an 8.691 for Ryan Disharoon. Now it's Adam Anderson. Adam Anderson has been here plenty before, not too many times though. First came here in 2016, and then again in 2020 and 2021. However, Gravedigger has been here at every single event in Indianapolis' lifetime, which began in 2009. Obviously piloted by numerous different drivers. I would go out and make the assumption that Dennis Anderson's probably driven here more than any other Gravedigger driver, but that isn't necessarily the case. Adam Anderson only has a 1 freestyle win this year, which is shocking in of itself. The other shocking thing is that no driver has more than 2 on this entire tour, because this has just been a really great freestyling tour as a whole. They have been so good in the freestyle competition this season that it's been pretty hard for one driver to stand out. You compare that to Stadium Tour Yellow, where you've got Ryan Anderson and Tyler Menninga basically running the table. And while it's not a bad thing, it's just, you know, it's nicer to see the wealth being spread a little bit more than just two drivers winning 95% of the shows. Now, granted, Stadium Tour Yellow has also had more shows. I don't know whether that makes it better or worse. Adam Anderson pushing for win number 2 of the year. He's off to a good start. Again, Bryce Kenny, his friend, is in first, 8.948. The field is winding down. There are not many trucks to go. Adam Anderson coming out in the second half of the field today. Going for the jammer, and again, smartly, like Ryan Disharu, not hitting it very hard. Would have to assume that they'll fix that for tomorrow's event, but you never know. Lining up for the backflip. Under-rotated it, but he lands it. Thankfully, the truck didn't take quite the bounce that Ryan Disharu's did. Whoa! Big air over the jammer! Hit that thing hard and lands it. What a finish to the run for Adam Anderson. And that finish to the run will put him in first. It's a 9.493. You gotta love that. Now Jamie Garner and Overboard will make his first appearance of the day. They've gotten the truck all fixed up and he's ready to roll. Nice to see. Giving a little wave to the fans. Giving a nice victory lap to the fans. That is a nice leap to start off his run. Good to see Jamie Garner back out here on the track. I'm sure he is relieved as well that he gets a little bit of a run here today. Now, Jamie Garner over the course of this year has not had, and I said it in the last show, he has not had a freestyle win. Wow! Big air and comboing it into a wheelie. That was awesome. Besides Adam Anderson's leap at the end of his run, that's the move of the night right there. And I also love that he's stuck with this American overboard. And you also got to believe he's going to pull out a new design for the World Finals because he has to. I mean, Jamie Garner is a man that has whipped out so many different designs over the years that it would be a shame if he didn't. Truck's been shut down. They'll pause the clock. Hopefully that truck can refire. While he waits, we will take a look back at the times he has been here before. He's actually been here a lot in the past. He was here in 2017, he was here in 2020, and also here in 2021. So he has gotten to be here more than a lot of the other drivers in this field. Doesn't have a competition win here in the past, but he has still done a pretty good job. So he's refired and ready to go. So we will get going with Jamie Garner's freestyle run. Plenty of time left on the clock, too, and a nice leap there. Oh, boy, weird landing. Can he save it? Yes, he can. Nice save there. Oh, and he broke the wheel off. Oh, no, that is... Oh, he actually popped the tire. Sorry, you couldn't see it from that angle. But the tire popped off, so that probably is the end of the run. Yes, it is. That'll be it It's an 8.236, which will lead us into Todd LeDuc here in Blue Thunder. Todd LeDuc, the two-time World Finals champion, out here in the Blue Thunder truck. Now, Todd LeDuc hasn't been here a lot. He's only been here 2 times, 2020 and in 2021. Or 2 years, rather. Which is kind of a surprise considering that he's been driving since the early 2010s, and this track became a thing in 2009. So very strange that his first time here came just 2 years ago. Now, Blue Thunder, this is the first time that this truck has been here since 2010. So that's obviously a nice little surprise for these fans. It was here in just the second show ever. And Todd LeDuc bringing it back out here 12 years in the future. I'm sure there are probably a few fans in the stadium today that were here back in 2010 when that Blue Thunder truck was here. In that show in 2010, Tom Meents won both racing and freestyle. Here he is again, 12 years later. He will be up in a bit. Todd LeDuc, though, going for a wild ride, and that truck just cannot quite grab any traction, and that will be the end of the run. Unfortunately, Todd LeDuc's run ends very early to 6.838. Now the aforementioned Tom Meents in Max Diaz here. He has been here more than any other driver in this field. He was here every year from 2009 through 2012. He was also here in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2021. Driving Max D in all of those events. Now, Max D itself has been here every year except for 2018 and 2020. Pretty interesting that there have been 2 years that Max D hasn't been here, considering that it has been a very popular venue, and it's a very, I don't want to say iconic venue, but Indianapolis is a pretty big show every year. As you can see by the fans in the stands, it does very well. I believe this is, obviously I can't see the whole stadium, but it looks like it might be a sellout crowd. Going over the racing lane to start it off. Now, Tom Meents has had plenty of luck in this building. I mentioned what he did in 2010. He won racing here in 2012. He also won racing here in 2019. And he won skills in the second show in 2019. And then last year in the first show he won skills, and in the second show he won freestyle. So Tom Meents has accumulated quite a few competition wins here over the course of his career. But only one freestyle. Two freestyles. And ironically, those 2 freestyles came 11 years apart. One in 2010 and one in 2021. The clock has been paused. I hope he's all right. The truck looks like it's shifted over to the side a little bit from this angle, but I can't be sure. Not sure if he is going to be able to refire here. It looked like from my angle over here that he might be shifted over to the side, which would be detrimental to that run. But we can't really see a good angle of that.
71 seconds on the clock.
We are still awaiting the word from the tech officials. Yeah, that's the end of the run. Tough break. Tom Meents will have to end a little early. It's a 6.079. Where Tom Meents, I'm sure he's a little disappointed about that. That gives Adam Anderson a chance to gain some ground. Now the second to last truck out here in freestyle. This is Mark Liston, El Toro Loco. Now Mark Liston, his first year in stadiums this year. This is obviously his first time in Indianapolis. His run is off after hitting the jammer. He will hunt for freestyle win number 2 of the season. One of the few drivers to have won at least one of every competition so far this year. As I mentioned earlier in the show, Tom Meents hadn't won a racing competition. He does have one freestyle, so he is not one to say that he's won all three. Mark List throwing in a nice stoppie here in his freestyle. A little change of pace. Gotta love that. Nice big air again. Transferring to the center of the track. The truck flipping over. Oh, boy. Wild crash for El Toro Loco. His run ends in a heap. And it's a 7.618. Not the run he was hoping for there. Which leads us to the last run of the night. It's Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl, your defending freestyle winner. He has won 2 freestyle competitions so far in 2022. Hoping to add on to it here. Score to beat is a 9.493. That's Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl is starting with a nice leap off of the racing lane. I love this truck. I've always loved it since the very first day it was brought into Monster Jam. I've been such a fan. Cole Bernard has brought this truck here 2 times in the past, 2020 and 2021. Big leap over the step-up. He is a man that has abused the step-up over its lifetime. Oftentimes using it to just get some nice air. He had one of the biggest leaps in Monster Jam history a couple of years ago. I don't remember when. It might have been 2020. But he got some serious elevation on it. Pretty much ever since 2020, everything's been a blur, so I just can't remember. But I am really glad that he got the invite to the World Finals. It's his first one since 2018. It'll be his third World Finals appearance ever, lining up for the backflip. Oh boy, under rotates. Can he walk the plank? Yes, he does. Cole Bernard walking the plank after the backflip, and that is going to help his scores out. And now it's time to air this Black Pearl machine out. At the end of the run, he's still got a little bit of time left. Flying to the center of the track. Oh boy, bouncing over the center, rolling over, and what a save! Cole Bernard tearing it up, the last truck of the night, and he has put on a show. Still going for that vertical jammer. The nose is crunched in, but Cole Bernard is still freestyling, and he will park it right in front of us to end his run, and that will win it tonight. What a run from Cole Bernard and the Black Pearl. And that will give him his 3rd freestyle win of the year and will lead us right into show number 2 here on Sunday. My oh my though, Cole Bernard, what a run from him. That picks up his 5th competition win of 2022. And as I mentioned, that is also now his 3rd freestyle win. One of only 5 Monster Jam drivers this season to have 3 or more. He joins Ryan Anderson, Charlie Palkin, Bari Musauer, and Tyler Menninga. We are going to hop in right away with Monster Jam Racing here on the Sunday show because you already saw intros. Just a little opportunity for me to catch my breath. So we will be leading right in to racing. So here we are now in Monster Jam Racing. It is time for show number 2 here in Indianapolis. We just had a pretty good first show. It is time now for the second one. The first race of the night, the far lane, Cynthia Gauthier and the Lucas Stabilizer. In the near lane, Mark List and El Toro Loco. We're also on the other side of the track tonight, so keep that in mind as we go forward. Mark List seems to have a small lead going to the final turn. But over the final jump, it's Lucas Stabilizer taking home the win. How about that? Cynthia Gauthier almost pulling a rabbit out of her hat against Mark List. We'll get her a race in the second round. Now in this pairing, in the near lane, we have Tom the Duke and Blue Thunder, and in the far lane, it's Jamie Garner and Overboard, his first race of the weekend. He missed out on racing and skills in the first show because of truck issues. Nice to see him back out. He's got a tall task. Okay. Looks like the lights had some problems. I was going to say he has a tall task here in round number 1 as he takes on Todd the Duke. All right, we're pulling up to the line now. Jamie Garner, Todd the Duke, ready to go again. They are off. Nice wide angle of the track. Todd the Duke has a lead going to the final turn. All he needs to do is just hold it down. Jamie Garner trying to make up ground. Jamie Garner, a good turn, but loses it at the end, ends up on his lid, and the American overboard is going to have some parts missing for the rest of this one today, so Todd the Duke will walk out of here with a win. Now we have Colvinard in the Black Pearl. Cole takes on Matt Pagliarulo and Jester, 2 independents going head-to-head. Colvinard is in full control of this one as he heads off to the final jump, but Matt Pagliarulo making up some ground at the end, but it's not enough ground to make up as Black Pearl heads on to the second round. And now for the final race of round 1. In the near lane, it's John Gordon and Bad Company, and in that far lane, Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. Only one can go on to the second round. They're pulling up to the line and awaiting the green. Here we go. They are set, staged, ready to go. Here comes the green. They're off and ready to race. The final race of round 1. John Gordon, Bryce Kenny. John Gordon, a good first turn there, keeping it nice and tight. So does Bryce Kenny. They're dead even going to the final turn. Remember, Bryce Kenny flipped over in the racing competition last night, but he holds down there and takes down Bad Company. A good race from both of those drivers, a very close one as well, but Bryce Kenny prevails. Now we are in round number 2, our first look at Gravedigger tonight. Adam Anderson behind the wheel here on Stadium Championship Series Red. His opponent will be Cynthia Gauthier in the Lucas Stabilizer. She took down a tough driver, Mark List, in round 1. We'll see if she can do it again here in the second round. A bit of a tougher task. And Adam Anderson, a man who has won 6 racing competitions, including 2 in a row. Adam Anderson is in full control of this one heading into this final turn. And over the final jump, Adam Anderson well in control as he walks out of here with a second round win. Now Tom Menson, Max D, his first race of the night, one of the 4 drivers that got bye runs into the second round. He will face Todd the Duke and Blue Thunder, who already has a lap under his belt tonight. It's the one disadvantage of getting a bye run. You get the bye run into the second round, but you have to face a driver who's already faced this track tonight, knows how it's running. So it's a blessing and a curse. You're given free points, but you're also probably less likely to move on. Now, Tom Mentz, again, as I said in the first show, hunting the first racing competition win for him of the year, and he's going to have a good chance at it. Todd the Duke is not going to complete this race. At least not in time, as Tom Mentz wins this one. Todd the Duke, something happened in that first turn, and that will cost him the race. Now the next matchup in the second round, Colvinard and the Black Pearl takes on Ryan Disharoon in the Saigon Shaker. Disharoon, the one who had the bye run here in this race. He kicked up a little bit of dirt, must have hit the jammer there next to the racing ramp. Dead even going to the final jump, but Colvinard takes it away as it looked like Ryan Disharoon lost something there at the end. And unfortunately is dealing with some truck issues. You can hear some ringing there. Might have been a drive shaft problem. Now the final race of the second round, Bryce Kenny, Mohawk Warrior. He is taking on Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, the other one with the bye run tonight. And Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken cannot make a complete pass either here, as it looks like he will be pulling off to the side. He flipped a little too hard in that turn and ended up losing that one. So now we have Adam Anderson and Tom Mentz meeting here in the semifinal round. Adam Anderson needs to win this race in order to keep his push against Tom Mentz, who is at the top of this tour. Adam Anderson just trying to chip away. He did so in the first event, trying to do so again here. Adam Anderson, a weird turn there. He hit the turning tire. Sorry, the turning bump. Tom Meents going really wide in the final turn, gets up on two wheels, and Adam Anderson takes advantage and wins. He is off to the final round, and my oh my, Adam Anderson has been dominant in racing. His opponent will either be Bryce Kenny in the Mohawk Warrior, who's in the far lane, or Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl, who's in the near lane. Both of these drivers do have racing wins this year. Only one of them will get a shot at another. So close, but at the end, your winner is the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, Bryce Kenny, barely squeezing that one out. Now, it is time for the final round of racing here in Indianapolis. As these Indiana fans have gotten themselves one heck of a weekend, and this racing competition has been a really good one. In the right lane, the man who has been on a mission recently. He has been so good in Monster Jam racing. Here in the last couple weeks, he is now 6 on the year. He takes on Bryce Kenny in the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. He has 1 on the year. One of them will be extending their total racing wins. Will it be Adam Anderson or Bryce Kenny? Adam Anderson has been bad fast all night long, all weekend long, and really all year long. By far the best racer on this tour. And he is looking to add another trophy to the trophy case. Bryce Kenny going really wide, gets up on 2 wheels, and Adam Anderson has done it again. Adam Anderson, 7 racing wins on the year, bringing his total to 10 racing competition wins of the 2022 season. He has been so good this year, and boy, does he just keep on adding to his points. That brings up Mark List, El Toro Loco. Mark List starting off the skills competition tonight. You can either do 2 two-wheel moves or 1 donut. Is he going for a maximum moonwalk? What on earth? Oh my gosh! I have never seen anyone but Tom Meents try this, and that's why. He got absolutely nothing out of it. I don't know if that's going to count as a hit. He didn't really hit the gas, he just kind of fell off. Now going for his, I don't know, he's going for a hit here. Whether it's 1 or 2, I don't know. We'll find out after this one. Moonwalking it up the ramp. There you go. A very nice second hit, I'm going to assume here. Sets it down. No, they're going to let him go for another hit. So they're going to say that he didn't actually attempt that first hit, which is a little strange to me considering that he was up there. Unless he just kind of aborted the mission last second. But going for hit number 2. Again, like last night, doing the same move, just on the other side, facing the fans over on that side of the stadium. So we didn't get our second driver to ever attempt a maximum moonwalk, which is unfortunate. Or second non-Max D driver, I should say. First non-Max D driver. So Mark List and El Toro Loco gets a 7.674. It's a little low for what he did, but I have to assume that the fans probably took into consideration that they wanted to see him try that maximum moonwalk, and he didn't. Now it's Jamie Garner and overboard. He's running without the roof. That roof fell off in the racing competition in a flip over. It has not been the best weekend so far for Jamie Garner. Truck problems in show 1 prevented him from doing anything but freestyle, and in show 2, he flipped over in round number 1. Not only did he lose the roof, he lost the entire tail. So we have over B on this side. And I'm sure over there it's probably simply just oared. We'll find out at some point. Actually, it looks like you've got the full board over there on that side. Either way, not running with a full truck. Going for his skills run. Almost forgot that it was skills for a second. I was waiting for him to hit that a little harder. Putting it down in the reverse popper, and he's got nothing there to stop him, and he is rolling over, so even further body damage to the poor overboard truck. We'll set him at a 3.470, a rough break there for Jamie Garner. Keeps Mark List in the hot seat. Now it's Matt Pagliarulo, number 3 here in this competition. Matt Pagliarulo came out first in skills last night. Coming out third here tonight. Going for a reverse popper. He has done this the last few times here in the skills competition. Nice little change of pace for Matt Pagliarulo. And he doesn't get much from it, unfortunately. A tough break. Didn't really get any kick at all. That does count as a hit, though, unlike with Mark List's. Mark List, I think you can really just say Mark List didn't really attempt anything because he didn't hit the brakes or the gas. He just kind of rolled off. So he got a free pass there, but Matt Pagliarulo won't get a free pass on that, that's for sure. Circling all the way back. In line for hit number 2. Going for the step up, and a nice leap on the backside of the step up. Kicks a little wheelie after it, and that'll conclude the run for Jester. 5.694, so he won't take the lead. It puts him in second place. Now John Gordon, the number 4 driver out here in the skills competition. The order is in the backwards order of how they finished in racing, in case you were not aware. John Gordon, a bicycle try, doesn't get it. So the way that they do it, if you win racing, you come out last. If you're knocked out first in racing, you come out first. So it's really an order of how you got knocked out. It's in backwards order of how you placed in racing. John Gordon, one more hit. Much better bicycle that time, and sets it down. However, not the best 2 hits. It's a 7.059, so he will have to settle for second place on that one. Still a little higher than it maybe should have been. Now it's the Lucas stabilizer, Cynthia Gauthier, honking to the fans. 5th truck out here in skills. Now last night we didn't see anyone do a donut. Cynthia Gauthier, typically the only driver that will attempt one, and she is not going for one here. Going for a stoppie. She hasn't done many of these this year, and maybe that's why. The truck just rolled itself right over. And that's the end of the run. Stabilizer with a 4.557. Too bad. That beautiful body will take some damage. Now it's Blue Thunder, the 6th truck out. We're at the halfway point here in skills. Now, as I mentioned in the first show, Todd LeDuc does have 2 skills wins this year. No stranger to success here in this competition. Puts it down on the front 2 wheels, kicks some dirt over them. So nice to see this Blue Thunder truck back. I've really enjoyed every moment of it. He gets a little too close to that ramp there. Walked up the side of it and had to set her down, so unfortunately that first hit cut a little short. Blue Thunder going for hit number 2 here. Good chance for him to take the lead away from Mark List, who has a 7.674. Todd LeDuc walking the bicycle now towards the parking area and sets it down. 2 good hits for Blue Thunder, and it's reflected in the scores. It's a 9.236. How about that? Todd LeDuc and Blue Thunder getting a nice score there, and he is in first place. Now the number 7 truck out here in skills, Saigon Shaker. Going for that jammer. Does look like they fixed it. And a beautiful slap wheelie. That is textbook. So they fixed that jammer up. It is no longer at a 45-degree angle, maybe even a 50-degree angle. It's a little bit better now, more perfectly angled for the slap wheelies. Now for hit number 2, Saigon Shaker moonwalking it up the ramp, and a good 2 hits for him. He is a skills winner this year, but not today. as that score comes in at a 7.296. Now the 8th truck out is Kraken. Nick Pagliarulo. The light is green. He's good to go whenever he wants. Setting himself up for his first hit, going for the jammer over there, and wheeling it up the ramp. Beautiful. Walked that puppy all the way over, or rather walked that squid or octopus all the way up and over, and the truck has been shut off. Bit of a weird hit there at the end as it hit the car. So hopefully he can refire. Yep, he refires, so he's still got one hit to go. Definitely driving a little slow for having one hit left. Oh, I think he's... Never mind. It looked like he might be pulling off to the side there for a second. Oh, he's been shut off again. I think his run might end. So the clock... Well, there's no clock, but he still has one hit to go. Sure, he's a little frustrated in that truck trying to get it going, and he got back going again, but that truck can't stay fired. That's going to be the end of his run. So 4.812 for Kraken, a really tough break because that first hit was pretty good. Going to bring up Tom Menson, Max D, the leader on this tour in skills wins. He's got 7. If he wins this one, he will tie with Ryan Anderson for the second most in Monster Jam stadiums this year, 8. Tyler Menninga does have the most out of everyone with 9. That is not including the Atlanta show, and the fans get really loud before this move. He is attempting the maximum moonwalk, we would have to assume. We thought Mark List was too, and then he aborted the mission. Tom Mentz had a good enough one last night that it led to him winning the skills competition. Pops it down, and oh no, not a good hit that time. And he is going to have to settle for that as hit number 1. Not what he wanted to do. Tom Mentz, one move to go. On the back side of the racing lane, the hoppy stoppy. If that's not what it was originally, that's what it is now. Oh no, and he doesn't even get a stoppy out of it, and he parks it. All right. Well, that's the end of the run, a 6.206. Not the run Tom Mentz is looking for, so... Coming up soon will be Adam Anderson with a chance to really gap Tom Mentz tonight. Now it's Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Colvinard is slowly and under the radar has become one of the best drivers in Monster Jam over the year. And he is we always knew he's been a threat in every competition, but he is quite literally threatening to win every competition he comes out here. Skills has really been his one downfall this season. Going for a reverse popper. There's hit number 1 on the rear wheels. Walks it up. Walks it up really nicely and up and over the racing lane. Oh my! And he got it into a stoppie. Nice! Colvinard doesn't have a skills win this year, so set himself up nicely there. That was a really good combo. We'll see what he does here with hit number 2. It's kind of a weird feeling when you're in the skills competition because, and I really only know this from doing things like this in the Steel Titan Sports League, that when you get a first hit that's really good, you may change what your second hit was in an attempt to try and win. Because sometimes you have something in mind and you're like, well, that actually was better than I thought, so I got to really go all out. And here he goes to the stopping to moonwalk combo, moonwalked it up and over the ramp, and that'll be the end of the Black Pearl's run. Puts him in second place at an 8.280. And now we are at the 11th run of the skills competition. Mohawk Warrior ready to go. Has had some good success, as I said, in the first event in this competition this year. Putting it on the front 2 wheels, got it balanced, and he's walking it now. Another pretty good crowd here for Sunday. Most of the Sunday shows tend to not bring in nearly as many fans, but this is actually a really good crowd. The entire first level is pretty much full. So definitely a nice addition to the event today. I mean, the trucks are going to go out there regardless of whether there's no fans or a house full of fans. And Bryce Kenny just put down a pretty good first hit for the fans that are here. It would be nice if Monster Jam put out, like, capacity, not capacity, but, like, population, like how many attended the event. I think that would be pretty cool. Attendance, that's the word, not population. If they could put out an attendance number for the shows, I think that would be nice. Nice little addition. Bryce Kenny going for hit number 2. He's on the front 2 wheels. Oh boy. A little weird angle. He's going to have to try and do something with this. Beautiful transition, trying to get himself to go forward a little bit instead of backwards. But that did not work too much in the long term. His run is up at a 7.352. I've got to say, that's not a great score for that. That should be a lot higher. Which brings us to Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, who has just done some of the craziest moves all year long. The guy loves to change it up every day when he comes out here in the skills competition. But what you can expect is that Adam Anderson's going to be going all out, knowing that he's got a chance to really add on to his points total and gain even bigger ground on Tom Mentz. Here we go, hit number 1. He's lining up for the jammer. Trying to combo it. Oh, nothing there. All absolutely zip zero zilch on that first hit. Too bad. But he's got 1 to go. Let's see what he does. Fans getting loud because he's next to the backflip ramp. Going for the bicycle. He's done this a few times off of the jammer. Walking it up the ramp and sets it down. Nothing really doing there. That was not a great run from Gravedigger, but the fans in Indianapolis love Gravedigger, so they gave him an 8.523. Which brings us to freestyle. So your winner in the skills competition is Todd the Duke in Blue Thunder. Good for him. He's now got 3. So that puts him still at second on this tour. That also gives him his 8th competition win of the year, tying him with Tom Mentz. Now it's, as I said, freestyle time. Cynthia Gauthier, the Lucas stabilizer, and boy, oh boy, that body is gone after skills. Nice little honk to the crowd. And now she's ready to go to the other side and honk to the crowd. All that's left is the cab. I just love that. The honky tonka. I always say that. That's just, it's a fan favorite name of mine now. Hitting the racing lane and getting ready to go. Now you have to keep in mind she's coming out first because she didn't complete the minimum time in the first show, so she has to, I'm sure, be looking to put down a really good run. Obviously, you're always looking to put down a good run, but there's a little extra incentive now, considering that she didn't get a score in the first event. Nice leap over the center of the track. Getting a little crazy there. And again, like last night, the exhaust pipes have been cut off a little short. Over the back side of the racing lane. So far, just kind of filling up the track. Oh, she's got a pop tire. That's a problem. Nice air, the sky wheelie again. That ramp, it looked like it was fixed in skills, but maybe not. Maybe Brian Disherum just knew how to hit it right. Cynthia Gauthier is not letting that pop tire stop her. Oh boy, flipping over, and the pop tire gives her a little push, and it's a save. How about that for your first run of the night? There's no way she's going for the backflip with a pop tire. Oh my gosh! She's going for the backflip with a pop tire, stuffs it in on the nose, breaks the axle, and her run's going to be done right there. But what a run. Popped a tire early on, kept on pushing, had a phenomenal save and a backflip. That sets her up nicely. It's a 9.289. That might win the competition tonight. And she is coming out first, so how about that? Cynthia Gauthier, a very productive leadoff run. And now the second man out, Matt Pagliarulo, has to follow that, which is always a tough thing to do. That's whenever you come out early in the competition, you're never really expecting to be faced with such a high score to beat. But Matt Pagliarulo is staring at practically a mountain to climb for the man who hasn't won a freestyle competition yet this year. Starting it off on the backside of the racing lane. So his time is going. Again, it's a 2-minute freestyle run. For those that didn't know, you get 2 minutes to just do whatever you want right here on the track here in Indianapolis. A little sideways with the rear steer. I hope that doesn't mean the rear steer's broken and he's just kind of going for it. Whoa, boy, going for a wild ride. I think his rear steer may be broken. And I don't know if it's just locked. I think it's just going whichever way it wants. It could be locked, though. Yeah, I think it's just locked, which is a really tough break for Matt Pagliarulo. Now he's pinned in a really bad spot because he's got to whip that thing around. Oh, he does it pretty nicely, though, considering. This definitely is a real buzzkill to his run, unfortunately. He's just going to go for a donut. Why not? When you got a broken truck, you might as well just spin it into a donut. The fans always love it. Really just searching around for something to hit. He's put himself in a really tough position, but he's still going, just trying to fill the clock and getting his money's worth. Truck's broken, you might as well enjoy it. Just kind of throwing the truck around, but it's still running. Doing the best he can with this broken truck. Not quite Tom Mentz-esque in the terms of throwing the truck around with that rear steer broken, but he did what he could. The score is obviously not going to be great. It's a 5.901, but valiant effort. Now it's bad company. John Gordon, the third truck out, chasing Cynthia Gauthier, who came out first, and chasing her with a big hit off the bat. Cynthia Gauthier, 9.289. That's the hot seat run right now. John Gordon has been really good this year, and in freestyle has snagged 2 freestyle wins. This season was good enough to earn him a spot in the Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando. Just a few, less than 2 weeks away. I mean, we're right around the corner. It's crazy. The first half of the season was really dragging on in the sense that, not that it was taking forever, but that it just felt like the World Finals was so far away. Now the World Finals is upon us. I mean, it's here in 12 days. Big air from John Gordon. I'm excited to see what he can do out there in Orlando. I won't be in attendance, for those that are wondering. But I will be providing a commentary on that, hopefully the day after. Nice air, John Gordon. We're going to be getting next week into World Finals prep here on the channel. Going to have to establish where I'm getting the footage from, when I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to log out of all my social medias and YouTube channel so that I don't get any spoilers. Oh boy, on the bicycle. John Gordon in bad company. Having a really good run so far, but Cynthia Gauthier with that backflip with the pop tire and the save, it's going to be really tough for John Gordon to take the lead here. Oh boy, under rotates, kisses the nose, but still going. Oh boy, he is flooring it, getting big air. nose is flapping off. That's going to be the end of the run for John Gordon. It takes the lead at a 9.362. I've got to disagree on that. Cynthia Gautier's run was significantly better than that. So, unfortunately, John Gordon takes the lead, although I don't believe he deserves it. But nonetheless, the fans thought he did, so he is your new leader. Now it's Tom Meents. Meents coming off of a tough freestyle last night, which finished him in 9th. And he gets the hoppy stoppy. Gotta love it. Throwing that move into freestyle. Doesn't just have to be on the backside of a racing lane. It can be anywhere. So John Gordon is your new leader. Tom Meents trying to take him right out. Because it would, obviously, whenever you see a person take the lead when they didn't necessarily deserve it, you hope that someone deserving does take the lead away, and that in the end you have the deserving winner. As long as the person that deserves to win wins, that's all that matters. Tom Meents, nice leap, bouncing off the center of the track. Oh boy, in a weird spot, but he saved it. Nice. Prevented himself from going over. That's professional driving right there from Tom Meents. It's a save that'll fly under the radar because not many people know that it's really a save. Oh, do we have our second hop? No, I thought he was going to go for the hoppy stoppy there, but not quite. Nice leap again. Hard hit on the center of the track, but the truck is still going. Still got plenty of time in the run, too. This has been a really good run. Overall, minus Cynthia Gautier's save and backflip, this has been the best run so far. Now he's under that 30-second mark, and he's going to go for the backflip. Here he goes, lining up for it. Very good backflip. A little under-rotated, but it does not hurt him at all. And now he gets a launch through the center of the track. Oh, no way! Oh my goodness, a somersault from Max D. The truck just skipped off the center, rolled over, and sat perfectly. And that is how Tom Meents will steal the freestyle lead tonight at a 9.604. And that is a wow moment that leads us into Tom the Duke. Boy, oh boy, Tom the Duke has some tough shoes to fill after that run. But if there's anybody in this field right now that I would want to have come after that run and try and take the lead, Tom the Duke is one of those few people. A man very capable of throwing down a perfect freestyle run. And well, the bar has been set very high by Tom Meents, and the best part about it is he came out 4th, so that leads to an increase in pressure for everyone else here in the rest of this freestyle competition. So my guess is we're going to see a lot of really great freestyles going forward as people try and top that run from Tom Meents. Tom the Duke's momentum is proving that already as he is going a little bit, a tick above where you would tend to see Tom the Duke at this point in the freestyle. Already flying as the Blue Thunder getting some big air beneath its wings. Some more nice air. Oh boy! Oh my gosh! Do we have another somersault? No way! Back-to-back runs with a somersault. The truck has been shut off, so hopefully that doesn't mean it's the end of the run because Tom the Duke... Okay, good. He is refired and going again. So the somersaults, he gets to continue. My goodness, 2 straight somersaults. What are the odds? So now Tom the Duke gets to just do Tom the Duke. If he throws down a typical run for him, he could take the lead. I mean, he's literally done exactly what Tom Meents has. Big air, a somersault. Now he's completed a backflip. Oh no, it looks like some of the body fell off. Yeah, it did. Oh no, some of the chassis fell off, so his run ends and it's a 9.3. If Tom the Duke fills the clock there, there's a chance that he takes the lead, but unfortunately, he'll have to settle for 3rd, but what a run out of Tom the Duke while he was out there. And now you see the Kraken emerging from the depths of the ocean to freestyle here in his final one of the weekend in Indianapolis. My goodness. Let's see how Nick Pagliarulo responds to that the back-to-back great freestyle runs. He is responding with some big air off the bat. The step up. Getting hit for that first move. And flies over the racing lane. Really excited to see what Nick Pagliarulo can do at the World Finals. Could you imagine he walks out of there with a championship? That would be crazy. I'm saying that now. If he wins a World Finals championship, I'm going to go back to this video and quote it. Because that would be one heck of a prediction. I have been the king of predicting the future this year on a lot of these commentaries. Oh no, the truck's been shut off. Remember, he had those problems in skills with the truck shutting off. Hopefully that isn't detrimental to the freestyle. Really tough break if it is. Oh man, that is it. Unfortunately, Kraken is done at a 4.430. So a tough weekend for Nick Pagliarulo and Kraken, specifically in the second show. Will lead us now to Mark List and El Toro Loco. Mark List looking for his second freestyle win of the year. I mentioned in the first show that it was the first show of the year that he walked out of there with a freestyle win, or at least the first weekend. He hasn't won one since. And while the bar has been set pretty high, Tom Mentz with a 9.604 is sitting in first place. And he launches it over the racing lane. A little weird hit in the air. Guy that's a very underrated freestyler too. I compare him a lot to Bryce Kenny in his freestyling skills. As we lose the tailgate of El Toro Loco, because he's one of those guys, he's going to throw down 2 minutes, he's going for the backflip now, which he also does. Hard hit, oh no, and the truck rolls over. Can he save it? No, too close to the dumpster there. That'll be it. It's a 7.245, a rough ending, a hard ending there for El Toro Loco. Mark List will be done. Now Jamie Garner, who has even more body damage. He's lost the hood now. Jamie Garner overboard, ready to go here in freestyle. All that's left are doors here on overboard. Ready to roll here for his first hit of the run, and he is off in Indianapolis, his last freestyle of the weekend. Big air that time, wow. Jamie Garner loves to air this truck out. We haven't seen it too much in 2022, but is very capable of flying. He hasn't done many backflips this year either. It'd be nice if he can maybe sprinkle one in here towards the end of the season. Nice air! Stepping it up on the step up and a little wheelie combo. I also forgot that I haven't looked at what it says on the right door. We will right now, though. Yeah, he's got the full board there. So this side of the truck, it's board, and the other side is just over B. Going on the jammer. Nice air. Goodness, he is flying around, flipping over, wild ride, and he's on all fours. Overboard, going for a wild ride, and just keeping on going. What a night of freestyle. It's really our fourth wow moment of the night. We've had a really good one. He's also now only got one door left, so he is quite literally just bored. which is just so funny. Oh my, cross-threading it on the step-up. And just cross-threading everything. You just cross-thread the whole track. Gotta love that, something different. And more big air. This has been arguably the best run we've seen out of Jamie Garner this year. I still would like to see him go for that backflip. We haven't seen any mini flips this weekend either, which I think he's going for now. That's also why I said it. Lining up for the mini flip. Oh boy, did not get much rotation on that. Just stuffs it in on the hood. And that's the end of the run. A little low score. It's an 8.096. It wouldn't have taken the lead anyway. But a really good run. Definitely a valiant effort from Jamie Garner tonight. Went for it all. Couldn't quite win it. Now it's Ryan Disharoon, Saigon Shaker. Going for that jammer. He also nailed this in the skills competition. Can't quite nail the slap wheelie that time. The front side of the step up. I love the red underglow too that he's got on the drive shaft, and looks like on the transmission too. It's a very slick and clean looking truck, which is something that I love. I've always been a fan of the way this truck looks. It's something different. And I also like that he threw on the back. Oh wait, no, it's not there today. It's got a different tailgate on. Last night it said Jeep on the back. Oh no! Wild ride! Rolling over and yet another crazy move. That's going to be the end of the run. One heck of a freestyle though, as the truck is broken. That entire front axle's just flopping around. So it's a 6.961. A good ending to the run though. That's 5 wow moments now tonight. Brings us to Bryce Kenny and the Mohawk Warrior. So I'm going to bump that up to 6. I wasn't including Cynthia Gautier's backflip, but because she hit it with the pop tire, I've got to include it. So Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior ready to freestyle. Your leader still, Max Dean, 9.604. Bryce Kenny has not had the freestyle success this year that he would really like. Still in hunt of number 1 on the year, too. He doesn't have one yet. So if he could grab that today, I'm sure he would be a very happy camper. Little slap wheelie out of that jammer. Whoa! Big air! Using that jammer to launch it to the center of the track. Bryce had a pretty good run last night. Managed to get out of there with an 8.9. Had a simple run, backflip, 2 minutes, just like he normally does, as I was saying before. Now, doing that tonight isn't going to get him a win because Tom Mentz set the bar so high. He's going to need to throw in some extra in there, and he's putting a little mustard on it with that jump. That was a really big leap. Does have to back it up though. That'll kill his momentum a little bit. He's a little too close to the dumpsters. So it just mirrors the Mohawk gotten smaller over the years. This looks like the Mohawk's like a lot shorter. I don't know. I might be losing my mind. Going for the backflip. Great backflip. Loses the tailgate. Right at the end of time, sends it to the center of the track. Oh boy, rolling over and got it! Yes! 6 wow moments tonight, and that'll count. Now the score is only a 9.002, but nonetheless, one heck of a way to end the run for Bryce Kenny. And now the last truck, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger. I'm sorry, second to last. Forgot about Black Pearl for a second. Adam Anderson looking to take down Tom Meents. The only way he can gain ground in freestyle is by beating Tom Meents. He needs to beat a 9.604. Adam Anderson starting with big air. And I have to refresh your memory because Tom Meents came out so early. He had a lot of big air. He had that incredible somersault and the backflip. He also had the stoppie, the hoppy stoppie, to be exact, early on in the run. So he had a really good freestyle. It's a picture-perfect winning freestyle. Adam Anderson's going to have to throw down one of the best runs of the year if he wants to do it. And, well, I mentioned earlier when Tyler New came out, there are not many drivers in this field that I would rather have come out. Adam Anderson is the #1 driver in this field that I would put up there to beat the run that Tom Meents did. So let's see what he can do. He's off to a pretty good start. I'd like to see him maybe get a little more air, but it is still early. Sending it to the center. Oh boy, almost lost it. This track, the way it's designed, lends itself to a lot of wow moments, a lot of crazy crashes, rollovers, saves. We've seen a fair share of them tonight because you get air and you can hit that center pond in such a way that it'll just fling you across the track. Is he going for a backflip already? Very early backflip attempt. Oh boy, bouncing and he sets it down. He almost lost it there, but he did not. Thankfully, Adam Anderson knows how to control that truck. Now sending it again to the center. He's got plenty of time left. I think he just wanted to get the backflip out of the way, make sure that his score is high, because he wants to turn it on the rest of the run and not worry about flipping over. Starting now with some big air. Cross-threading to the center of the track in a big leap. Wow, that was incredible. Holy cow. Adam Anderson going big. And going big again. Launched. Wow. He just never ceases to amaze. He's not really had the super wow moment like Tom Meents did, though. But he is certainly flying. And Adam Anderson going all out here. He gets second place at the moment with a 9.478. With one man to go, it's Colvinard and the Black Pearl. Colvinard has a tough task in topping Tom Meents. Adam Anderson with that 9.478 with a great run, but not great enough. Colvinard, some nice air. He has won back-to-back freestyle competitions entering this one. It's going to be, like I said, a little more difficult this time around. Oh no, he's been shut off, and that's going to be the end of the run. A tough break for Colvinard. So with that, Tom Meents takes it home. He gets his second freestyle win of the year. That'll do it for the commentary here. Indianapolis was an absolute blast, a lot of fun. I certainly enjoyed the heck out of it. I hope you guys did as well. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you all in the next one.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me.